Hello guys, welcome back to Blueprints. Let me check my papers. Episode 5 I think we are. We did one episode where we did 2 days I think. We are now on day 6. As we have noticed in the previous episodes, you can have good days and you can have bad days. Episode 3 was a very good day. Took us almost 2 hours for one day, I think. We almost filled the grid. We discovered so many things that day. We unlocked Orchid, West Path, and the Gemstone Cavern. In that day, we discovered some other things. In episode 4, things went the opposite way. Things went completely wrong. We had I think it was called the Red House at the end of the day. We almost had every red room in that because we found the furnace. We did discover that there's something going on in the laboratory. We kind of solved the puzzles. We know we need the laboratory and we need to connect it to the boiler room. We found the boiler room where we discovered that you can guide the powder through any of the 3 doors of the boiler room. And if you then have power guiding rooms connected to it, you can sort of make a whole chain. So you could go from the boiler room with something like the archives, and then the passageway, and then the laboratory. Then you have like 4 rooms next to each other. They're all power guiding. They get power from the boiler room into the laboratory. That could work. So that's one of our goals for today. See if we can get the boiler room in the house. And if we do, then try to connect as many rooms to it as possible, which are power guiding. And then we have many chances to get the laboratory in any of those connecting rooms. That's one thing. We also found some names of the Algerian angels. More specifically, the queen is Orinda. The maid is Milla. We found a statue of her in the maid's chamber. So we know the maid is called Milla, and according to the logbook in the Orchid, the gardener angel is called Rina. So we have 3 of the 8 angels, of which we know the name. Why do we need it? I don't know. We will see. I'm assuming we need it because there more and more names are found. So yeah, we got the west gate opened, which also led us to the outer rooms. So we have outer rooms in the game now. We have unlocked the Gemstone Cavern by finding the VIC indicator explanation and pattern that needed to be done. We found it in the office computer, and then the VIC indicators itself are in the utility closet in the breaker box. So we opened that, so that's kind of done. That's why we start with 2 gems, and we also found the Orchid, which gives us 20 steps extra every day, so we start with 70 steps. So what I'm going to do now is press R and have a look. We found the billiard room in one of those previous episodes, music room, where we found music pages 1 to 4, which leads into another puzzle where we need to find with the first word of the pages or something, but we're missing pages. We found page number 5, I think in the greenhouse, and then 1 to 4 is in the music room, but there are more pages because we have a message now which says, "Find among the white trees." And then the sentence stops, so there is more to come, I'm assuming. We got the rumpus room with the Great Alzara telling us things we sort of already knew. We're looking for room 46, that's what he told us. But he would go quiet until the next day. So if we get the rumpus room again, we're going to get a new cutscene, is what we made of that. We solved the puzzle in the office room, leading into the safe there. Utility box, I think we did what we had to do. We have done the VIC indicators. We know that that box is quite important in such a way. You can put the gymnasium off. You can re-establish the light in the dark room so that you can see what you're drafting. The boiler room, we sort of solved that all with this steam over there. So we know how it works. The laboratory, we solved the puzzle with the periodic system. The only thing is that machine on the left here needs power from the boiler room. So that's why we were looking for the boiler room, and then see if we can attach it to the laboratory. That's going to solve some other puzzle, and we'll see what that does. Security, we found the password. So that means that we can check the mails in the office, for instance, and some other things. We can order some things for the commissary, things like that. So it gives us some extra options. Dining room, yeah, we figured that one out, but you need to reach the row 8 in your grid, or rank 8, and then come down again to have dinner. Observatory gives you, every time you watch, 1 star. The more stars the better, I'm assuming, because that will give you different constellations, and each constellation gives you something. A gem or a key or steps or... Conference room is a good room to have in case you can spread some things. Like for instance, if you have the conference room in your house and you then get the office to spread the gold, then all the gold will be in this room. Then you don't have to run around through your house to find all the gold coins, they will all be here. But you need to have this room first before you have office. Aquarium, I'm not sure. Aquarium is a room of every color, so it's a hallway, it's a shop, it's a green room, it's a bedroom, and it's a red room. Not sure what the negative effect of that room is, but in the aquariums itself, they're resembling rooms from the house, I think. One of them was a hallway, the other one was a bedroom. So there's probably something going on with that. The bedrooms, we upgraded the boudoir to a boudoir which now has 2 rolling dice, always when we dropped it. And we upgraded the nursery to a room where if we dropped it and we dropped green rooms afterwards, then we can go back to the nursery and there will be gems sprouting there in the flower beds, which then are in the beds, or something like that. Either way, it makes the indoor nursery kind of interesting to draft, if you can draft it very early in a dead end or something. Other than that, not that great. And I think we also upgraded the courtyard, right? So boudoir, courtyard, nursery, and I thought there was another room that we upgraded. I think we found 4 upgrade discs so far. From what I make of it, there are 16, so there are still a bunch to find. And each time you will get a certain room to upgrade. Greenhouse, we know is a way to get into the antechamber with the lever there, but the lever is broken, so we need to find the broken lever. In the same day we find the greenhouse. We also noticed that there is a wall which you can potentially break, which would make this an L shape instead of a dead end. Morning room is a bit of a special room in such a way, it's not in your daily drop pool, unless you find bacon and eggs in the commissary. Then it will add that date. Other than that, yeah, red rooms. From the previous episode, we have found them all. There are also found floor plans. So far, we only found the planetarium, which was inside the telescope in the observatory. If you let the telescope come all the way to the left, you can open it and find the planetarium plan. And then if you put it all the way to the right, then it will go outside and you can look and have a peek in it, and you will see the constellations then. If you call it a day in the planetarium, we had the planetarium the last time in our house, I think, but we couldn't call it a day because we didn't have enough steps to get to that. But then you can sort of gain 2 extra stars for your observatory, which means you can skip to higher star ratios. Outside the room, yeah, we found it in episode 3. Where we drafted the tool shed, and then last time we opened a trading post. In the trading post we found a stick of dynamite. Together with the tunnel torches, we kind of figured we can light up things in the house. We just need to figure out something that can actually light up things. A torch of some sort. And there were items for sale. We found a microchip, we could trade that. We traded for a sledgehammer, which told us that those breakable walls are not breakable with a sledgehammer. So there's got to be a more powerful tool of some sort. So we'll see if we can find any of the other 8 outside rooms. So yeah, that's sort of where we are. Other than that, the goal for today will be finding new rooms, trying to get a boiler room, laboratory combination. We cracked 3 safes so far, boudoir, office, and yeah, the boudoir was Christmas. Oh, the drawing room. The drawing room we also figured out. We know there are 8 safes, but we also know that there are only 7 red letters, so probably there are only 7 safes. Because somebody was blackmailing our great uncle, meaning that they kept them 1 letter for themselves, so we will only find 7 letters. Let's see what we got here. The hovel. Special floor plans now cost additional steps instead of diamonds. We could try to risk that with 68 steps. We have the shelter, protects you from the negative effects of red rooms. That could also be good. And yep, just take the first one. Because we have not seen any of these 3 rooms, so it doesn't matter which one we take. At some point we're gonna have to take them all. Dear Mr. Revane, your half-hearted dedication and maintenance of the grounds have been greatly appreciated. However, I regret to inform you that your services as the groundkeeper at Mount Holly will no longer be required, effective immediately. So Mr. Revane got fired. This decision has been made after careful consideration and is based upon the repeated observations and documented instances of neglect in the performances of your duty. The state of the green rooms in particular has deteriorated significantly over the last few months, which reflects poorly on the rest of the staff. You are required to vacate the hovel by the 20th of March, ensuring all tools and equipment belonging to the estate are returned to the tool shed in good condition. Your final wages will be settled promptly upon completion of these instructions. We thank you for your time and services and wish you the best in your future endeavors. And Babbage, our house manager. So Mr. Revane was the groundskeeper, but he got fired because now we got Angola or something. We know that from the logbook in the Orchid, that there is a new groundskeeper. So this was the previous one. Why he got fired, we don't know. We also know that the garage, unless this is Danny Revane, because the chauffeur is having a little bit of a moonshine business. Well, he delivers the moonshine, and so maybe this guy was involved in that moonshine business together with the chauffeur. We know from a memo in the garage that the chauffeur was disappeared already 3 times, where he was supposed to drive for the Lord, and he was not there with the car. But we found some moonshine in the boot of the in the trunk of the car. So there have some of these people have some moonshine business going on here. Good morning. It has come to my attention you had been granted a daily allowance. If there's anything else you require, please do not hesitate. Even though we have all been requested to remove ourselves from the premises during your stay, I can assure you I'm still personally overseeing that the estate is at least operating at the baseline standard of service that I hope you will one day come to expect of us. And we get some money that we can hire these people again. That is from the trading post. We found one of those puzzle boxes, and we solved it, and there was 2 allowance in there. So from now on we have 2 allowance and 2 stars and 2 gems and 70 steps. Now rooms will not cost any gems today because we just picked the hovel as our outside room, which means that special floor plans, which normally cost gems, they are now costing footsteps. Study. Study is a dead end. While drafting, you may spend gems to redraw the floor plans up to 8 times. Okay. I know it's a dead end, but this is a room we have not seen yet, and seeing we are using footsteps to get the gem rooms, we have gems available which we can now use to redraft in case we don't like our options. "44 letters in the grid. This is phase and ace in the... this is sort of an extra confirmation, which things that we already knew, meaning that there is a grid puzzle. There is a grid puzzle and it says phase and ace. Those are the two paintings which are hanging in the entry hall. A phase card and an ace card, which means the F drops off out of phase and ace, giving us an F in that grid where we have the entrance hall. If there are paintings over here, there are. It's the praying hands and the pry again, or the crowbar, but another word for crowbar is pry. So it's pray and pry, which gives us an A over here in this square, but we know it. We know it if we count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. That is the message in the grid. We know we're looking for dates for the safes to crack, and we do that by either looking for the date or counting small things. Like for instance in the drawing room we looked at the pictures with the people who were doing small steps, and those were 2. The umbrella guy and the lady, which was 1504. 15 umbrella guys, 4 ladies, give us the code for the drawing room save. Talking about the save, here's also one. The puzzle is mostly found in the room itself, so let's see. Study, phase ace, beard Bart, cold old. Yeah, we got that. We figured that one out. I don't know if it's possible with so little time left, but I need to remember to ask if we can commission new artwork for all of the rooms of the house. Yeah, this is all about the paintings, the artwork. We need them produced in sets of 2. Yeah, that is all about the puzzle in the house. Those things. Praying hands and a pry. So pray and pry is an A, which drops out if you compare those two. Then there is something going on with these globes where you can interact with. Also in the observatory we had 2 that we can interact with. There's some dotted line on here. Somebody on a voyage or something. Might be important later that we need to figure out how people were traveling. This is also an interesting one. We have picture frames with no pictures. Either they are not rendering, or are we supposed to find them? We have a chessboard where the queen... what does that mean? That means that this is a queen room, that's what that means. We're also looking for chess pieces, so this is a queen room. So we have the office as a king room, the study is a queen room. We know night rooms are observatory and security. The bishop we found in the chapel and in the music room as well, I think. And then there are several rooms which have a pawn. And there is a rook in the nook. So I think we found all the chess pieces. Well, let me rephrase that. We didn't find all of them, but we found one of each at least. The queen is on D8, which stands for date, I guess. That's the date of the save. D, but what's D? D could mean a few things. Could be the month. January, February, March, April, April. December. December 8, or it could be D, which is the 4th letter in the alphabet. 4-8, 8-4. Try that. D is 4th letter with 8 row. That doesn't work. Let's try 804. That doesn't work. D could also stand for December. And then the 8 for the day. That works. Okay, that's another safe cracked. That's our fourth letter. Number 2. December 8th, yeah, of course, as always. The letters are usually written on the date that you open them with. Be prepared for our plans to be set in motion in 4 months. So something, January, February, March, April, something happened in April. It's all lining up and all of our hard work is about to come to fruition. Fruition. I've just learned that several members of the museum's guard are sympathetic to our cause. This has something to do with the article we found in the archives, where somebody has robbed the museum, where they stole the crown jewels, and it's our mother is involved somehow with that group, Children of the Blackwater. What are the names? Caleb Ewan, which is a writer, and Philip White, which is his publisher. But our mother is also somewhere involved. She's also a writer. So are they the Children of the Blackwater? Are they the ones that have stolen the crown jewels? Is that why our mother has disappeared? Questions which appear after finding all that information. We suspect 2 more to be opportunities for loyalty extend only to their purse. M. Yeah, the letter is written to Mary. Your uncle has agreed to let us use Mount Holly flexible floor plan for a trial run. Assuming the red print we hope have secured of the museum's closed exhibit is in fact accurate. Caleb Manning. We should begin these trials. So, until we meet on the shore of the White Sands. The shore of the White Sands with the red flag with the black cat. That was the Rumpus Room guy. Until we meet on the shore of the White Sands. So this Caleb Manning guy with his publisher Philip White, and then our mother, Mary Matthew Jones, aka her pen name, which is Marion Marigold. So they have something to do with this robbery in the museum, where they stole the crown jewels. And the closed exhibit. The doors in these rooms are security locked. So this is a new found floor plan. So painstakingly produced accurate reproduction of one of the so-called closed exhibits of the Fen Aries Royal Museum in Trinsdale. We know it's in Trinsdale because of the article. Red Room Addition. It's a found floor plan. It is rare, which is a level 4, so we're not going to see it much. We have not drafted it yet, we just found it. This door in this room are security locked. Okay, so all the doors are security doors. We definitely need power or key card or something before we drop this room, because it has 3 security doors. So they have a floor plan and going from this letter so that they could practice the heist in the house here with this closed exhibit, which is a replica of what the museum looked like. So yeah, they're definitely involved. Now, of course, by dropping the study here, which was a new room, we put ourselves already in a bit of trouble on the left side here, so something that goes left would be nice. On the other hand, we can redraw with gems. We just found a gem in the study, so we'll do that. I want to go left. Hallway or den. Hallway goes up and left. Then goes left and right. We'll do the den for the simple reason we know this is a pawn room. Other than that, we've seen it many times, but the reason we dropped it is that You just use a gem to redraw and then we'll get it back. Something that goes straight or right. Yeah, right. The courtyard, which now costs 3 steps because of the hovel. Normally it costs you 1 gem, but we have upgraded it so that we get 2. This is a +1 negative thing. Positive thing actually in this case. Because normally it costs you 1 gem to drop the room, but we will get 2 back because we upgraded this courtyard with 2 gems now. It's one of these upgrade discs that we used. So the courtyard here will be perfect. It's going to cost us 3 steps instead of a gem now because of the hovel. But the courtyard is an interesting one because very often you find something in there. Unfortunately not a shovel, so we can't dig in here, but West Wing Hall or something would be nice here. Yeah, nook or kitchen. I guess we use the kitchen this time. Seeing all of these gem rooms are now costing our step, we're probably gonna need some more steps today. So we're gonna put in the kitchen. That gives us an idea. What's on the menu? We have glazed salmon today on the menu, which also means that we are looking for an aquarium. If we can get that in the house, then we can get 30-step dinner instead of 20-step dinner. We have the bacon and eggs linked to the morning room for 8 coins. Club sandwich and then of course a banana. At the moment we have 55 steps, so we're good, but then at least we have the kitchen in the house in case we need it. We can always, if we can find some coins, it would be nice. Security. Furnace, no, we are staying away from you, Furnace. We know what you do, we've seen that last time. Put every red room in our house, basically. Okay, what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to put the security here and go back and see if we can find the power box somewhere down below here. Nook will give us a key. Observatory. What day are we? Can we see that? No, we can't see that. I think we have 2 or 3 stars, I'm not sure. No, it must be 3 stars because the last time we had 2 stars, we had 2 trunks. I think I'm gonna do the observatory. It's gonna cost us 3 steps, but I think on day 3 we get 3 steps, so it will be a 0 room then. Hopefully we were right. Yeah, we have 3 stars. Okay, good. So we're getting our steps back basically. The slice on 3 stars. Well, I say day 3, but the 3rd time that we dropped this. Every time you come into this room you will get 1 star more. Unless you bring in the planetarium, which will give you 2 extra steps. Commissary. We don't have any coins though. Let's do chapel. Gonna cost us a coin. But there are items here sometimes. We already found 4 coins here one day. So sometimes they give you your coins back. East Wing Hall or something. Oh. Let's do a redraw and see if we can find an up and down. Not want to give it to us. Our whole right side is blocked up here though, so I want to go up. I'm going to do the pantry, which gives us some food and also some coins. Oh yeah, and we have the metal detector. Having the metal detector makes you find more keys and and coins, but what that also means is that it spawns them more. You will find them on the floor, and so if you don't have the metal detector, there's no point in looking in the floor. There will never be anything. It's only when you have that thing. Parlor, sure, gives us extra gems if we get the puzzle right. Check the tables, also there is sometimes a thing. Yeah, we sort of know what this room does, it has gotten its purpose, so you just look for some items, and then other than that we figured everything about this room. The puzzle box, for those who don't know, at least one lie, at least one truth, and there is only one box which has a prize in it. That's sort of the rules of the game. This box and the white box are both empty. So this could be true. And if it is true, then it's basically saying that the prize is in the black box. But could also be a lie. No, this has to be true. Because if this would be a lie, then it's saying that the blue box and the white box are not empty. Then you have two boxes with a prize. So yeah, this is a lie. Which kind of tells us that the gems are in the black box. This box and the blue box are both empty. So this guy is pretty much saying the same. So they are both true. They are both saying the same thing. Telling that these two boxes are empty, so they have to be in black. These are both true. That also means that the black box has to be a lie. The other two statements have identical wording. They do not, because the blue box refers to the white box and the white box refers to the black box. So this is definitely a lie. There we go. The logic was actually rather simple. Is that a cockroach? Holy moly. The dark room here would make sense. The only problem is we don't have light in the dark room. But it would be great here to have it here, because then we can go to this square and to the left square. Then we have access to all the squares that we can. From security, courtyard, and then the dark room will give us access to those two. It's not great though. Hallway is facing the wrong way. Spare room only goes straight, which means we have to go up here. The problem, if I put the dark room here, I can't see what I'm dropping from those two doors. Then we have to gamble. The other problem, I'm gonna redraw. We have enough gems meanwhile, and we are not using those to find doors because we're paying with steps. So I'm gonna redraw. I need another room here. Commissary or Nook is way better here. I think I'm gonna go for Nook because we're meanwhile approaching rank 4 and we have no key yet. So we can see that keys might be a problem here today. The Rook is still in the Nook. Nursery. Whenever you dropped another green room, no. These are dead ends. Bedroom. Sure, let's do bedroom. Nothing here, no trunk. Sometimes there is a gem or something on the hand here, or on the table, some coins. This is also a pawn room. We want to go left here. Okay. I'm not going to use my key here. We'll go back to the courtyard. That's going to cost us a coin. Six steps. That's a great room to have here, but 6 steps. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. We'll use the steps. We will buy with these 4 coins. We'll buy some bananas already. That's 3 steps, and that's 6 steps. So this costed this gave us our 6th step back basically. We still have 3 bananas left. You can buy 5 of these things. The same in the commissary. If you buy 1 gem, you can buy 5, or 1 key, you can buy 5. The other things, they're immediately sold out once you buy them. So we have 3 bananas left. We have 15 steps here, and then 10. So there's another 25. We need to find some coins. A vault or something would be nice. Now we're gonna go in the passageway and go to the right side and see if I can find the utility. Which it does not want to give us. Utility would be perfect here. Then we can put out the power, go to security, and do the rest with the keycard things. So let's redraw. Guest bedroom is also not that bad. Gives us 10 extra steps. We are paying with steps for certain rooms, so steps are kind of important today. We got an extra key. That's a pretty good one. This, we know this. Okay, let's see. I want to go right here if possible. The archives. It's a great room, but it's gonna block one of our options. What? I want to go right without going to the archives, please. Hallway. That's more like it. We can use our gems to redraw. We're not paying with gems for any of these rooms. We have no coins to buy keys. Commissary. What can we buy in the commissary that's gonna help us? Nothing, because we have no coins. We got 3 keys meanwhile. Gymnasium to have options. Oh, sure. We're not gonna go in. We're gonna go to security and see what we can get there. Wow. 1 coin. Oh, that's what I thought it was gonna give us. In theory, we need to do it. We can get gymnasium here and here, bedroom. Even if the doors are locked, it's going to give us 3 extra keys. I'm going to have to go garage here, I think. It's not want to give me the power. No extra items here. Yeah, that's the message of the moonshine business. There was another message in the car. There was an upgrade disc in the trunk, so we got that upgrade disc already. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. Yeah, what I can do is check the inventory. There's 1 microchip. Yeah, we know that that's outside on the bridge. We don't know what to do with that thing. The last time we just traded it in the trading post. So the only thing we can do here at the moment is set the security level low with a lower chance of risking to run in that doors. But they're still gonna show us 1 or 2 though at some point. So low and locked, if we find a security key card, we can open it. If we find the power box and we can cut the power, then we come back and we put it on high unlocked. that's an option. So that's that, and we'll log in now that we know the Swan Song is also the license plate of the car. So that was another way of finding the, although without the vowels. It's SWNSNG, I think, is the license plate of the car in the garage. Another way of giving you the password. We found it with the magnifying glass. Electronic mail, but that doesn't work on this computer. So the only thing we can do is staff services and order something for tomorrow's commissary. Unless there is a new... no. We got one message from Anne. I think the only reason for this message was to tell us that Saturday, November 7th was the first day that we arrived. I'm not sure why we need it, but that is when we arrived. November 7th was our first day. So they're telling us that for some reason, which means that, like in this case, we are day 6, so it's November 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So today we are November 12th. So we can order something for the commissary. It will take 1 to 3 days before it will show up, but the compass we had one day, it gives us room towards the north, more likely to draft rooms towards the north. Magnifying glass was very interesting to read some small print here and there, so that's always good to have in the so that's an option. But I think I'm gonna go for shovel, because the shovel doesn't seem to be that much in the commissary, and we often get the courtyard and other green rooms with the digging spots. That will give us the one of the next days. It will give us the shovel in the commissary. Of course, it's also going to cost us more steps, this room here, but yeah, it is what it is, eh? Meanwhile, get 6 keys so we can start using them. Yeah, we have no coins, but to buy something in that commissary, that's the problem. Here is the compass and a key and a gem and a couple of rolling dice, which means we now have gems to re-roll. This is Lady Carlara Espen, which is our grandmother. We sort of figured out meanwhile. We'll do the billiard room. That will give us some more keys. Because we have this darts game. Yeah, we know there are keys, but we still need to solve it first, I mate. 17. 13 minus 12 is a 1. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. Last time we checked. 18 divided by 6 is 3. It's like blue is addition, yellow is subtraction, pink is multiplication, and purple is division. And you sort of go from the inside to the outside. That's sort of the order you do things in this. So it is 6 minus 3 is 3. Times 5 is 15, divided by 15 is 1. And we get some 2 keys. So our only problem we have now is there's still something here. Oh, this thing. The broken lever. Okay, that changes things a bit. The broken lever gives us access to the south door if we can find the greenhouse, but you can only find the green rooms in the edges, either on the east or on the west, the perimeter of the grid. Except for the courtyard and the cloister, which you can also get in the middle, but all the other green rooms you can only find on the perimeter. That's what we learned from the logbook from the orchid. So we need to get to the side somewhere and see if we can get the greenhouse, then we can open the antechamber. That would be cool. I think we're gonna redraw here. This maid chamber is, it's a bedroom and a red room at the same time. But from that moment on, we're not gonna find any items. That's not great. And the other two are dead ends. So we're gonna use the rolling dice. The office is quite expensive. We don't have a conference room, so if we're gonna have to spread gold around the house, which would be great to get food in the kitchen, but then we're gonna have to run around the house, and the office is costing us 6 steps. We have a security, we already have a computer in the house in case we find an upgrade disk, so that's also not a problem. Closet is a dead end, or we can do this thing, which is gonna cost us 3 steps. But then we can choose the color for the next door. So if we do green there, we might be able to get the cloister, but that's gonna cost us, that thing is normally 3 gems, so that's gonna cost us 9 steps. But would be great though, because that has 4. We need something with food. We might have to risk the office here. It's gonna cost us 6 steps, but we can spread coins around the house. And then if we work our way back to the kitchen, we should be able to find some coins. 18 and 1 in 17. Yeah, we can risk it. And then pick up some coins in the rest of the house and go to the kitchen to buy the 15 steps or something. Yeah, I think we have to. Will also give us another gem. What we also noticed the last time when we had maid chamber, that the check was not there. Although we ran the payroll for this week, we're still on week 1 in the game. We are day 6, so the check was not there. So that probably means that it's in the servants' quarter. Yeah. Payroll has already been run for this week. The other day, the previous episode, we had the maid chamber. And if you run the payroll, it will be spread either in the maid chamber or the servants' quarter. It was not in the maid chamber, so our check for this week is in the servants' quarter. And then we'll spread gold in the house. Unfortunately, we don't have the conference room where we can pick it all up, so we're gonna have to go around the house to actually find it. We will log in the network and see if there is no mail. Because in the office computer you can check the mail. Let me see. This tells us how to make purple, I think, on the box. Changes have been made to the estate. We read that one, and then this is the solution for the VAC indicators. And then there was some message for the personnel stuff. Yeah, we read all these, so there are no new mails. We'll check it whenever we can. expected. Was hoping to get some food here or coins or... Yeah, we solved this puzzle thing. We need power here to this room. But on this computer, you can run experiments. So let's see what we can get. Whenever you spend 2 or more gems drafting a room, that's never gonna happen because we only have redraws available. Whenever you draft a hallway from another hallway, that's not gonna happen because we only have 1 hallway in our draft pool. So we have to go for each time you eat an apple. Add 3 aquariums to today's draft pool. Gain 1 key, 1 gem or 1 die. Let's do that. 3 aquariums would also be interesting because we have our meal is the... no, we need an aquarium actually, but... Okay, so we need to find apples. Unfortunately, we already ate one earlier, didn't we? They are not that common. But we will get either some rolling die or a key or a gem. Okay, so now we need to... Oh, we can drop the room here maybe later, but... we need to go back. We need to go back and we need to find some coins. I spread the gold, didn't I? Oh, Jesus. I ran the payroll. I don't know if I actually spread the gold. Oh yeah, I did. Normally if you spread the gold, there are already some on the table here. Oh my god. Oh, and this is gonna cost us another 2 steps. Wonderful. I don't see any coins there. Okay. Yeah, we need to find as many as possible on our way to the kitchen. Passageway. Passageway into security or passageway... one, 2, 3. No, I need to get food. No extra coins here. So we have no other choice than get as many bananas as we can. That's so loud. Okay, so now we need to use these 11 steps to get some more coins to get the other things. If not, we're dead. Courtyard, den. Nothing in the den. Nothing here. Don't see any coins here either. One, 2, 3, 4. It's not enough. We find 2 coins. I can't even go to the right side because going to the chapel will cost me an extra coin. I think we're dead. That's what I think. I think what we also established that we are not a fan of the hovel. Also, now that I think of it, what did we find in that hovel? Nothing. We didn't find anything except for we must check that place. Now here's our microchip. We got to pick that up, but doesn't matter. We have no idea where it goes. Put some extra coins in here. Yeah, we never checked this room out, did we? We just wrote that letter and turned around. Not that it matters by the looks. Oh, it does matter. One of these things here. We know what these do. Okay, so they're also on the outside rooms. We found one in the orchard, one in Gemstown Core, and now we have this one. So it seems like we need one more. Two wings, 9 ranks. Antechamber sealed, 45 rooms, 2 starting rooms. What does it say? 2 starting rooms? 8 starting rooms. Oh, the outside room. Where is room 46? Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? 7/5/1990, that is 3 years ago. Tested. Full house theory, no luck, as expected. Coincidence. 4 plus 5 is 9. Times 2 is 18. Divided by 9 is 2. Minus 2 is 0. That's one way of doing it. Or if you look at that number as 1, 45 times 2 is 90. Divided by 9 is 10. Minus 2 is 8. Coincidence? Probably not. Everything is 8 in this place. We have 8 safes, 8 dates. Every of these colored rooms we have 8. We have 8 bedrooms, 8 red rooms. So yeah, if you just do the normal, if you do 4 plus 5 and then do the rest of the calculation, you end up on 0. If you start with 45, then you end up on 8. So there are 2 ways of calculating this. So it's either 0 or 8. Okay, well, what we have learned today is that you don't want to have the hovel because you run out of steps very quickly, even with a kitchen in the house. Okay. Save and continue. We're not even an hour in, so we can do another day. I try to keep the episodes somewhere around 2 hours, sometimes a bit quicker, like the last one was only, I think it was 1 hour 30, but I didn't risk doing another episode. If it then was a good day like the previous one, then it would have been a 3-hour episode, So we will do 1 to 2 or 3 days in one episode, depending on how things are going. Let's pick up our allowance. We have 2 gems, 70 steps. Let's look for another room. And we found the laboratory again, so that seems to be showing up a bit quicker. Pick up our microchip, no idea what it's for, but we dug that thing up here after some messages that we put together. From different notes where there were italic words, we put those words together and it was buried beside the bridge in the west. And we had a shovel, so we dug that microchip up, but where it goes or anything, we have no idea. Okie doke. We have the trading post, which we already saw, or our other options are shrine or schoolhouse. Let's do the schoolhouse. Of course, also here, what we're doing is these outside rooms, trying to fill them up, trying to find all of the different rooms and see what they do. This one adds 8 thingy things. And here's our last flame. we have 4 flames. Okay. So we have the orchid, the gemstone cave, the hovel and the schoolhouse. And that brings out an elevator of some sort. Can't open the drawers. For the last 38, it has been my pleasure of serving you as schoolmaster in the humble little facility. I first wish to thank Lady Aspen, our most gracious host today. Okay. It's the schoolmaster apparently who is talking, but who that is we'll see in a second. Children, without her, Reddington Elementary would still be a distant and blurry vision. A vision that I dared not even dream. So due to Lady Aspen, they had school here in the house. That dreamer is of course the incomparable Mrs. Peterson, our future principal, and my reluctant successor, who I might add. Okay, so Mrs. Peterson is the teacher over here, and the schoolmaster is writing the letter. If he signed with the name, then we have also his name. So Mrs. Peterson is the teacher. That goes on our list of names. We have quite a list already. So I think I will end my praise of her there, though she deserves. To the architect of our new school, the Baron Sinclair. Thank you for following in your father's footsteps in building Reddington yet another school. Okay, so he built a school apparently, our great uncle. And for also allowing the use of your own private residence and floor plans to serve as our interim facility until the new campus is completed in March. A decision I'm certain it will immediately regret tomorrow morning when he hears the children running through his halls. And lastly, I wish to thank all my students, many of you here today. So yeah, this guy is going on pension or something. So Mrs. Peterson will be the new principal. Thank you all sincerely. My time here has meant the world to me, and I'm still standing in 8 months. I will see you all at a slightly less melancholic ribbon cutting ceremony next year. So yeah, it's his last year or something. Better joke to end. Remember to give Mrs. Peterson her gift. Oh, but he doesn't tell his name. Okay, so apparently that's not important. This letter was written by the schoolmaster, so I'm assuming he goes in pension or something. Also doesn't mention. Just sort of can deduct that it's his last year. And Mrs. Peterson, which is the teacher, will follow him up as a principal of the new school, probably, which they are building. Nothing on the blackboard. We can't go behind the blackboard. Okay. So what this thing does is adds 8 classrooms to today's draft pool. So we're gonna have a lot of classrooms in the house. And we're obviously going to check out that elevator thing and see where it leads us. Throw a coin in the fountain. Seeing we have an allowance now, we can do that actually every day. We still haven't figured out how to break that thing. Excavation department. Foreman's log number 3. 7/8/1915. That's about 80 years ago. As our client, Thomas Sinclair suspected. Thomas Sinclair, 1915. That must be the father of our great uncle or something. New name in the book. The arches that were visible from the south cliff were part of a much longer arcade cave into the rock. Yeah, we already knew there was an underground. We knew that from a letter in the gemstone cave. Uncovered dozen more holes. Our exploration so far has been limited and entirely superficial, as every shaft we have surveyed has ended abruptly. An ever-promising path leading deeper into the mountain has been blocked by tunnels packed tight with soil, rock and debris. This site is either much older than we had first assumed, or someone deliberately had these chambers buried. Yeah, we also know that there is a minecart somewhere which is left behind, and we were sort of told that we need to move that thing. We haven't found it yet though. Can we light these candle things here? No. No, these are these things that we saw from the platform above there. Yeah, we can go even lower, because those are those windows that we saw. Another crack in the... Yeah, there are definitely things we can break as soon as we figure out how to break things. Okay. So here are our chess pieces. Well, it's only half a chessboard. Nine by 5. Okay. So I'm assuming we know that the rooms in the house have chess pieces. So I'm assuming we're gonna have to drop these rooms in a house somewhere, and then come back and then put the chess pieces where the room is in our grid. See, this is our house. It's a 9 by 5 grid. Yeah, if we apply, let's say we put the nook in the corner here, we know there is a rook in the nook, then we can put the rook over there. Okay. Just something we have to figure out after dropping some rooms. Another door which can go open. Yeah, there is this door, there is that wooden barricaded thing outside. There is another door outside, sort of similar like this one. When you go towards the orchid, it's on the left there. So there are still things more to open, that's pretty sure. Yeah, we're only on the cascade, we can go deeper because there are windows there as well. A foreman's copy, do not remove from the site. Fen Aries again. Yeah, we know we are in Fen Aries. We are country read by the Red Party or something. It's all about red in this place here. So Fen Aries is red, we know that. The Red Party is historically speaking, sigils are not a new tradition. They have been found in every era and every culture and predate hot written text and heraldic. However, Today when we use the term signal, we are referring specifically to realm signals, those crude circle marks of designation found on royal artifacts, building and other documents. This book was written to make understanding of facilitating glyph and also to clearly display the correlation between each signal and the iconography of that realm's royal art. Okay, so there are different realms or kingdoms things. Countries, I guess they are. Each line, each circle, and each variation tells a story of the land. Even the adorned borders around the signals have special meaning. And then they gave us an example of one here. With some sort of pentagram in the middle. Okay. To understand a realm signal, we must first dismantle the symbol and identify the individual elements that make up a whole. Each signal is composed of 4 things: the core, the race, the modes, and the border. Okay, so the pentagram is the core, the race are the lines, the modes are the symbols inside, and then the border. Okay. At the center of each signal is a unique shape different for each realm. If the core gives us a name, then the rest of the signal tells us the history behind that name. Still, it is important to be able to identify and distinguish the core as a first step in deciphering any signal, as all the other parts are meaningless if we don't first know the place we are describing. So the core is the place. But yeah, there are pages missing in here. But I think this book was in the library. We did not order it, we ordered something else, I think. Yeah, okay. If Fen, this could be Fen. This could be Fen Ares. Okay. And then we have the race, which are the lines, which that page is completely missing. Yeah, we're gonna have to find that book in the library, my guess. Yeah, okay. Okay, so these are the rains, which are, they're talking about heat, rain, stormy, snow, windy. So the race is the weather. Okay, so the core is the place it goes about. The race is about the weather in that place. Okay. And now we have the modes. On each signal, floating between the rays are small figures called modes. From the shape and the style of the modes used on a signal, we can tell the type of society a given realm proclaimed. If they consider themselves mighty in arms or blessed by artistic. Okay. So we have tribal, primitive realm, hunter and gatherers. Okay, so those are hunters. Then we have agriculture, harvest and farming. We have martial, metropolitan, academic, industrial, spiritual, and poetic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, of course. Of course there are 8. Everything is 8 in this game. And then we have the border. Around each signal is an adorned serving as container information. There are 8 different borders, each one corresponding to a different color. These borders always correspond to the banner and the national colors of that specific realm. Yeah, so the realms are countries. We know Fen Ares, it's all about red. So Fen Ares should have this one, a sort of zigzag line thing here. Let's go back. Where is that example? Yeah. Okay, so this is Fen Ares. The border is red. We need to figure out what those lines are, and the modes. I think it's tribal. Marshall. Marshall. Okay, so Fen Aries is red, Marshall. And then we need to figure out what the weather it is here. It's a line with 2 stripes. Which of course is not in this page, it will be on the other page. Because the 5 examples here are it's not in here, so we need to get that book from the library. And then obviously the borders are complete. I'll take a screenshot of that. Yeah, and this thing is complete, but we don't know. We know it's red, we know it's Marshall, we know it's Fen Aries. We don't know what weather it is here. But we do know that this one is complete. So we'll take a picture of that. Okay. And we need to get this book from the library. So we need to get this book from the library. We need to get some chess boards in. Okay, so in other words, we need to get the office and the study in the house, because we know that's the king and the queen room, the only 2 we saw so far. The bishop, we need a chapel or a music room, I think, which was the other room which had a bishop. Observatory or security have a knight. Yeah, den should not be a problem. Pawn, I mean, because we have the den, we have several rooms with pawns. So the biggest problem is going to be getting the study and the office in one day. If we only had this yesterday. Is this also black core? Maybe. Yeah, that could be a giveaway for one of those things. But we don't know what country that is. We just know it's black and then that whatever that shape was. Okay. So we have chessboard things. We have classrooms in the house. We need to figure out what that is all about. We need to get the library so that we can order that book. Ah, there we go. Thank you. We'll take that. Did we order a book? I don't know. Yeah, we know that. No, we did not order a book. No, that book is not here. Okay. Sightseeing Guide to Reddington. Swimbird, that's written by our mother. The Fixed Stars. That's the book which is in the observatory, which is complete. So it's probably the same book as we found in the observatory. The History of Orindia. Orindia, that Orin was the first one in those realms that we just checked. So is that a black one? Orindia black? The Pump System User Manual, or some Drafting Strategy Volume 3, which kind of suggests that there is at least another Volume 1 and 2. We might have to find that in some other rooms. Okay. So from what I make of it, we can order books here. Next time we drop the library, the books will be here. and then hints in the repeat. So the question is, what are we doing? The stars, we kind of read that book, I think. That book is in, that was by Richard Witt. That book was in the observatory. That gives you the star constellations. Swimbird is written by our mother. The Sightseer's Guide to Reddington. That will be a guide to the town here, down below the valley. This is Reddington. I think I'm gonna go for the history of Arindia. That probably will tell us more about these realms and seals and all that shenanigans. But yeah, we can't read the book until next day or so, whenever we drive to the library again. Okay, not as helpful as we thought. The Mount Holly records. 9 hours played, 7 days. Oh, is that's our we are on day 7. Yeah, that's our records, I guess. That's what we've done here so far. 3 billiard rooms, 5 parlors. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's our records. 3 upgrade discs we found. 4 letter. Yeah, okay. These are our records. We have 4 letters. And we have 3 upgraded rooms. The boudoir, the nursery and the courtyard. What I'm looking for, is there no chess piece here in this place? I haven't seen a chess piece in this place. The Mount Holly scrapbook. We're missing something here. The orchid, we sort of figured out. Not sure. Most drafted rooms, most paid for, most time spent in the entrance hall. Yeah, probably explaining everything every day. What we are planning to do. We're usually standing in the entrance hall when in the beginning of an episode, so makes sense that we were standing there most. Contraptions I've made is pretty blank. We bought a bacon and eggs, is the most money we spent in the kitchen. Whatever this is, we have not found any of them. Observatory. We were looking through that, we figured that one out. Most avoided. Bunk room, yeah, that's a dead end. Okay, interesting. An empty page. We're slightly missing a few things by the looks of it. Okay, let's see if there is something downstairs. We can skip the stairs in case you have motion sickness. They have an accessibility update last week after 1 year. And one of the options in motion is you can now skip stairs. Not sure how that works if you put it on, but in case you have motion sickness, you can put it up now. So I'm assuming when you approach this that it will automatically put you immediately upstairs or something like that, skipping the... Okay, I did not find a chess piece in there, so... The hallway seems to be the best option here. That's a red note, we know that's a lie. Okay, the nook has a rook, we know that, so that's one chess piece. There we go. And it also has a key. So if we now go downstairs and we put the nook in the corner on that board, might have something for us. But I'm assuming we need to have every room. Pantry, veranda. Greater chance of finding items in the green rooms. Veranda. I don't think we've seen the veranda. So let's have a look. Greater chance of finding items. What? We'll use the shovel to dig up a coin. Don't have a sledgehammer, but we do have a key potentially. Another coin. It's risky, but it's gonna give us coins, gems, or keys anyway. So normally you should have a positive net here if you use a key, but a couple of coins and 2 rolling dice. That's interesting. We lost our key, of course. Oh, classrooms are also gens. Oh, then we're gonna have to draft the den. The den is a pawn room. That's our second piece, chess piece. If we want to get the office, which is 2 gems as well. Okay, we're gonna stay on this sort. Classroom. We have seen those two, so I guess we have to go classroom, but we're gonna regret this, I already know. We're gonna be out of gems when we get the office or some bullshit. Classroom puzzle. Can you find the difference? Yeah, we did. We did find the difference. Grade number 1. There is an apple. With nothing extra with that. That was yesterday. Fill in each object below with its correct color. Well, we know that that little car and the fire hydrant are definitely red. We know that. Everything is red in this. Blue, green, violet, yellow, those are the colors of the rooms. Okay. Yeah. This confirms, which we already knew. We have read the red prints, and that car was in there, it was red. The fire hydrant was red. Some other stuff was red. So the fire hydrant and the little car here, it's what he has correct. 2 out of 12. What it also tells is that none of these flags are red, which makes sense because we know that the pentagram is red. That is Venaris. This guy has 10 out of 12. So this one has 2 mistakes. We know that the car and the fire hydrant are red, so that's correct. That's 2 points. This is the blueprint. Broccoli is green. That's 4 points. This is supposed to be a chameleon. That's also green, I would say. So this is his first mistake. Banana is yellow. Pumpkin is orange. Grapes could be blue or purple or green. Each color is only used twice, is the comment from the teacher. So one of these blue ones is wrong. Either this palette is blue or the flag is blue, because this is a blueprint. Yeah, one of these blues is wrong. We know it has a chameleon wrong. So this blue, what we learn from this is that the hourglass is violet and that the V shape is orange. That's what we learn from this. Okay, I'm gonna write some down things because So we know the hourglass is violet. We know that the V shape is orange. That flag is wrong because blue was not even an option in the flags. We just took that picture there earlier in the real men rune thing. The colors were complete. We had 8 different colors, and blue was not one of them. So we know that the palette and the blueprint are blue. The fire hydrant and the car are red. The pumpkin and the V-shape are orange. The grapes and the hourglass are violet. So chameleon needs to be green together with the broccoli. The banana is yellow, so this mountain thing needs to be yellow because each color is only used twice. We only have 1 yellow, so that mountain flag needs to be yellow. Mountain is yellow. And then we have the pentagram, or the 5-corner shape, is red. We know that. That's that whole Van Aries things. This one has 3 mistakes. Let's see. Grapes are correct. The blueprint is not yellow, so that's 1 mistake. Broccoli, that's fine. Red, and the red ones are fine. The chameleon is not purple but green, so that's 2 mistakes. The hourglass is not green, the hourglass is violet. The mountain shape and the banana are yellows. So yeah. So his mistakes are the blueprint, which is yellow here, the chameleon, which needs to be green, and this flag is not green, it needs to be violet. These 2 need to be swapped. The chameleon and the flag here needs to be swapped from color. And then the blueprint needs to be blue. Those are his 3 mistakes. And this one has 10 out of 12. Grapes are correct. All 3 of the flags are correct. The broccoli, chameleon are correct. So what are his mistakes here? Oh, no. The hourglass is violet, the V shape is orange. So he has the violet and the orange flag swapped. If you make the V shape here orange and the hourglass violet, then it would have everything correct. Okay. So what we have deduced from all this is we have found 3 more color borders for the sigil things. Violet, orange, yellow, and we know that the red. And then you have that thing in the elevator. Yeah, whatever that was some sort of H shape, I think it was. That H-shaped thing, which is in the elevator, and that was black because the color was black. So we got 5 of the 8 colors. That's what we learned in this classroom. We'll take the bedroom. Yeah, sure. That's a free room. Kind of hoping to find a gem here on the hand. And now we want to go straight or right, preferably. Don't need connection to the entry hall. We could do chapel. Observatory is the 4th time we draw it. I don't know what 4 is. Or we can go chapel. Corridor. Oh, let's do corridor. We have no keys. Again, straight or right we want. The parlor is also not a bad option. We are closing out the left side there, but the parlor will give us 2 extra gems. We need gems for these classrooms. That is, of course, if we get it right, because they will get difficult over time, I'm assuming. The gems are in a box with the word blue on it. There's nothing on that one. The gems are in a box that is actually blue. The gems are in a box with the word blue on it. This is an annoying one. Well, you can interpret that like the gems are in a box with the word blue on it. But the word blue is on this box and it's also on the black box. So this one is lying. And then this one is saying that the gems are in actual blue box. So this one is saying that the gems are in the blue box. But of course, what also is an option, because these are pointing to each other, what is also an option is that they're both lying and then the gems are in white. But then this one needs to be true and it doesn't have a statement, so that makes no sense. So it's gotta be that this one is wrong and the black one's telling the truth. No, they were both lying, weren't they? This one is definitely lying. This one could be true if you don't consider that the word blue is on this box itself. So yeah, there were 2 options here in my opinion. If this one is false, this one doesn't matter. If this one is true, then we have 1 true, 1 false, and then the gems would be in here. The other option was that if they both were lying, then the gems would be in that one. But then the white box needs to be true, but it's not saying anything. So yeah, the gems are, so this one was lying, so this one was telling the truth. Then the gems are in black, but if you consider that he just uses the word blue as a point to the black room, but this one has also the word blue on itself. So then there are 2 boxes with the word blue on it, and then this one was lying. That's how I interpreted it. I think even a year ago when I played through this thing at some point, I did exactly the same, I think, with that one. He claims that they are in black and the black one claimed that they were in blue. So one of them is telling the truth, the other one was lying, but if you consider that the word blue is on the black box, but also on the blue box, then that was also lying. So yeah, I don't know. What are you doing here, game? Trying to squeeze us into all of this square here. That's what it's doing. I think I'm gonna redraw. Yeah, that's what I want. Not necessarily the chapel, but at least a T shape that we have 2 exits. That's what I was looking for. Right. So we got a rook, we got a pawn, and the chapel is also a bishop. So we need a security or an observatory to have a knight. Well, yeah, the hardest part is always going to be finding the office and the study, which are our king and queen rooms. Oh, this is also great. The patio will spread gems in each green room. Yeah, that's what they said last time as well, and they didn't do it. Green rooms do not cost to draft. That might be more interesting, actually. The patio will give us a way up to fill up this grid here, but it's gonna cost us our last gem, and it says it spreads gems in the green room, which it doesn't. The last time we had 2 other green rooms after we drafted this room, and there were no gems in those rooms. So that patio is not doing what it says, or at least not always. Or we can use our last reroll and hope on a west wing. That seems to be better. Which gives us options here to go up and down. And now we can do a dead end here, or something like the spare room, which we want to get rid of, and then we can still fill up the grid. And now we need something here. Power or so would be nice. Perfect. Gymnasium off. That will not cost us steps anymore. The dark room, once we get it, we have to come back to put on the light. We put the garage on in case we want to go outside for some reason. This is solved, and we'll put the keycard system off. If we find a keycard, we're gonna have to come back, put it on, but if we find the security, we can put the whole system off. So I usually put it immediately off. If you find a keycard, you have to come back here, but that's the risk you take. We could potentially put a dead end here because we have access to this square from the chapel. In case we find something. Here is again with this patio. Let's take some items. We're still okay on steps. There we go. That's more interesting. An extra gem. Metal detector. So we have den and chapel left. Not many options available. We need to get some more up and right here would be nice. How about that? Pantry is a waste of an exit. This is a waste of a gem. So let's do the storeroom. Okay. Back to the den it is. We get 3 dead ends there. Our day is over though. Unless we open this. Also very risky, but I'm gonna do it though. No good. I was hoping to find 2 or 3 keys in here. Now we lost our last key. That's always a risk you take with these stupid things. But we don't have a sledgehammer, so I couldn't break it. But now we have 3 gems. We're basically looking for dining room, I guess. No, observatory, Dave, because that's a night room. I don't know what day 4 is, but another gem. Okay, so we get our gem back. I know 5 stars is Southern Cross. A lot of rooms with 4 doors. So that will be the next time. This is like, yep. I was just about to say it's only going to be a matter until we run into a door which will not unlock, because it gave us dead ends the whole time here. From the beginning, it doesn't want us to go up. So we did not learn much of this here. Yeah, actually we got a few of these colored things here. And then we need to figure out things about the society and the weather. To put those things together, I'm assuming. 146. That's pretty okay. We'll leave it at this, I guess. For this episode. We've done 2 days. We got some progression going in such a way that we found our last blue flame in the schoolhouse, which gave us the elevator. We sort of have an idea what needs to happen downstairs. The question is now, yeah, the nook, the den, the chapel, they are relatively easy. In such a way they show up every day. Security or observatory or the night rooms, they also show up. Maybe not both, but at least one of them you will get every day. So our biggest problem is going to find a study and an office. Once we have that, we will find the other rooms. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So that will be for the next episode. One of our goals. Next to that, we still have trying to get the boiler room linked to the laboratory. That's another goal that we are going for. Classroom was grade 1, so there are probably more classrooms, seeing we added 8 classrooms to the drop pool today. So there are at least 8 different classrooms. But at the same time, we are still figuring out what all these outdoor rooms are. We got 4, right? So we found one of those blue flame things in the orchid and in the gemstone cave. The other one was in the hovel and in the schoolhouse. So that's where the 4 blue flames are. We've seen 4 of these rooms, so now we need to figure out what's going on in the other 4. But yeah, that's going to take at least 8 days before we have that. And that is on condition that we every time get a different one. It is possible that tomorrow that is going to give us a toolshed, hovel and trading post, then we cannot find a new one. Unless we have rolling dice, of course. We have found the closed exhibit, we have not dropped it yet. So we have 2 now. I'm assuming there also will be 8 from the found floor plans. There is still something missing here in the directionary. So there is something else which will give us an extra 8 rooms, I'm assuming. We found all the red rooms. Shops, we are definitely missing a bunch. We found the veranda today. We are knowing... What are the other 2? Cloister is one of them. We saw it a few times, but it comes with a 3 gem cost. So you need to have a lot of gems if you can get a cloister. And I'm pretty sure we also saw the other room at some point. But decided not to drop it or something. No, we might not have seen it, but they were mentioned. They were mentioned in the logbook in the orchid, all of the 8 green rooms. It mentioned 6 of them except for the courtyard and the cloister, so we know which are the 8 rooms. I just can't remember what the other one is. Hallways, we're still missing some stuff here. Secret passage is one of them. Also there, we saw it a few times, have not dropped it yet. And then there are 2 more orange rooms apparently. And then the red room, yeah, the bedrooms we saw several of them, but decided not to drop them because most of them are dead ends. And I'm assuming the servant quarters, which we have not seen yet, is one of them as well. Here we don't know. We're just missing a bunch of blue rooms. Yeah, definitely a few goals to go. We need to find new rooms. We need to figure out what's going on with the chessboard. We need to try to link the boiler room. Get the boiler room in the house. That's the first step. Then we can put on the power and then we can see if we can either link directly or with some power guiding doors, make a change and get to the laboratory, and then see what that thing does. Okay, so we definitely have some goals for the next episode. That's pretty clear. And then we have 5 of the 8 realms colors. So there are more, which we need to figure out what the colors are. Well, we know what the colors are, but we don't know, because the book showed us 8 different colors for the borders of the seagulls. We just need to figure out what these countries are, or these realms. Yep. That will be the plan for the next episode. Step by step, we're getting there. There were not bad days, there were not good days that we played here. But we learned in each day, we learned a little bit more. So at some point we probably need to get that schoolhouse outside again, because there are more than one classroom. And we already got a few new clues and things from the first classroom. So we definitely need to check out the other classrooms. We also ordered a book in the library. Yeah, we will figure it out. Of course, we adjust as we go. That's what we have noticed earlier. You have a few goals in the beginning of the day, but as the day goes and as you find these rooms or new solves or puzzles or clues, you have to adjust your strategy. But it's always to have a few goals is not a bad idea. In this case, we have a few goals. Laboratory, chessboard, and some of the other things. So that will be for next time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.